Hi, everybody.
Hey
Welcome.
everybody.
Welcome to yet another dadageek exhibition, this time for the Winter 2021 quarter. Thank you so much for being here with us. My name is Kyle Evans. I am the managing director at dadageek, and I am joined once again with the amazing Alberto Chapa. Alberto, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hey everybody. I'm Alberto. I'm part of the dadageek community, and I'm really excited to be here wrapping up the winter 2021 quarter. It's been such a flash. It just feels like it started only yesterday, and here we are. Our students have finished their courses, they have finished their projects, and some of them are going to proudly display them tonight.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're super excited. Thank you all so much for joining us. If you are a student of Data Geek, welcome, and we're so glad you're here. If you have no idea who we are and you're just joining us, Data Geek is a school for art and technology and immersive art. We are based out of Austin, Texas. We are a nonprofit academy, and we offer classes in immersive art practices, art and technology, electronic music practices. We have all sorts of really awesome classes. And we have a lot of awesome opportunities as well to showcase work. So not only do we have virtual exhibitions, but we also like to do, once we can, once again, in-person events and exhibitions and all sorts of concerts and events and gatherings and meetups and all the fun kind of stuff that we like to do. What we would like to talk about before we get going, I want to show y'all talk about some of the classes that we offered this past quarter, so you can have an idea for some of the work that we're going to be seeing that's going to be happening here. And I also want to talk about some of the courses that are going to be coming up for the upcoming quarter, because there is an upcoming quarter that's going to be really amazing. So first things first, before we jump into this upcoming quarter, the classes that we offered this quarter, we had Intro to Algorithmic Composition in Ableton Live, which is a really nice idea. We'll look at some music pieces that were based in algorithmic composition, so it's not laid out in a normal way of composing. It's laid out in a way that's utilizing an algorithm to make decisions for you, which I think is really fascinating. As well, we also had a course on create a retro 2D platformer, and we're offering that course once again, also inside the upcoming quarter. So feel free to check that out. We also had our amazing instructor John Mike taught making synths with Arduino. Also, once again, another class we are going to be offering again that you can sign up for. And then I taught a class, Intro to Video Performance in Projection Mapping, which was a absolute blast. We've got some videos to show of things that students created. As well, Matt Steinke made the class Intro to Robotic Art. And we have also Music Theory for Multimedia Artists that was also offered by the amazing Dr. Thomas Eccles. So yeah, we had some amazing courses that we offered, and I'm really excited to look also at the upcoming quarter as well. So yeah, Alberto, can you pull up some of those
Yeah.
so we can check them out real quick?
So we've got the dadageek website, dadageek.com.
datageek.com.
And you can go to the top of the page, you can find your courses, but if you're on our homepage, you can easily just scroll bottom and find the spring courses listed here or up here. And here are our courses.
Yeah, so like we said, once again, making synths with Arduino. If you're interested in learning how to program Arduino and you're into synthesis and creating weird sounds, there it is, right? It's a perfect class, and John Mike's an amazing instructor. We also have Intro to Music Production in Ableton. So if you're interested in getting into producing electronic-based music inside of Ableton, then this is the perfect class for you. And one of the reasons why is because Adam Fangsrud, who's teaching the class, who we have a performance from him coming up later, is an Ableton certified trainer. So he is going to be teaching that class from an Ableton certified perspective, which means that you get to take advantage of the Ableton educational discount offer. So if you're interested in purchasing the software, this is a great opportunity because you can take advantage of those discounts.
And that's a significant discount. That's 40% off a student EDU license of Ableton Live Suite. And you can't beat that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Cool. So going forward from there, we also have making glitch art with processing, which making glitch art with processing is being taught by Sandy Miller. So she's taught several courses working with like augmented reality and other processing courses. This one specifically has to deal with creating visuals based off of the aesthetic of glitch concept. So making malfunction based looking imagery or video that is all built with algorithms, built with code. It's also a great way to learn to basics into programming. It's a visual idea of working with code, which I really like. Also, the class that I am teaching is interactive audio in Max. So if you're interested, if you've already been working with Ableton maybe, or you're just interested in doing some interactive based audio stuff, Max is a great programming environment for doing that. Max is involved directly inside of Ableton, so you can use the Max for Live environment, but you can also use it outside of it. So I use Max for almost all of my work, installations, performances, etc. We'll talk about it a little bit more later. As well, Matt Steinke is teaching expressive interfaces, which is a great way to learn some basics into working with microcontrollers and programming, but also creating complex devices for performances and interactive installations. Matt is a brilliant artist, and he makes some incredible work. So be sure to check that out. And we also have Bill Byrne, who is also again teaching his Create a Retro 2D RPG. So a little bit different of a twist on this class. This one's more so focused on creating an RPG. So if you really want to fulfill your inner childhood nerd and you want to make your own RPG, definitely check this out, because I think it's going to be a pretty amazing course. So, and as always, down at the bottom, we do have our dadageek Scholarship Fund, and gift cards are also available, so at a variety of prices. So the dadageek Scholarship Fund is always accepting donations, so please do reach out, because we have a really awesome scholarship program. Alberto, can you switch over to that scholarship page?
Yeah, let's check it out. To actually that Zoom menu.
Oh, it's up at the top. Yeah. No,
all my students always complain about is at the top.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. There it is. Yeah.
There we go.
So, the dadageek Scholarship. So we've got $100 scholarships. We have full course scholarship options. We also have Black, Indigenous, and people of color based scholarships, and we also offer payment plans. So, any of those options are available, and even technology assistance if you're in the Central Texas location. So reach out to us if you have any questions about it. The scholarships, by the way, are closing tomorrow. So be sure to jump on this. You can head over to dadageek.com and click the scholarship links up at the top.
And if you don't want to apply for your scholarship yourself, but feel like supporting an organization in Texas, in Austin, in the world that is bringing this kind of education to people and helping them access it, because the one barrier that a lot of folks have to participating in this kind of art is economic barriers. So we're trying to do whatever we can to help bridge that gap and create opportunities for people to engage in this really creative form of expression.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I just put up the amazing lower third graphic that we always use, the dadageek Scholarship Fund. So you can donate Venmo or PayPal. There's the information below. So please do, if you can contribute, please do, because it's going to a really good cause, which is giving more people education into this kind of this form of art. So, Alberto, before we get going with a whole bunch of student work, I want to stop talking and show some cool things, though. Finally, it's about time that we get into something neat. I do want to talk about that dadageek 5 exhibition that recently reopened once again. So it is running right now at the Hive at the Hill Country Galleria. You can find information about it if you go to dadageek.com. It's listed on there, and you can go and check it out. So if you live in the Austin area or surrounding Central Texas area, you can go and check out this exhibit. It is open Wednesday through Saturday from 1 o'clock to 5 p.m. Now, as well, I do have a couple of short videos that show a couple of my favorite pieces from there that we can check out real quick. One of them is a video that we edited of Andrew Martin that talks about his piece Tonal Planes. And another one is the piece Waves of Harmony, which was created by Ryan Paget and a cohort of awesome other artists that collaborated on that piece. So I'm going to go through these real quick and check them out, and we'll be right back.
I'm Andrew Martin. I work in audio engineering, computer science, there's nothing particularly remarkable about fluorescent light bulb, but when you combine it in different ways, you can get new experiences out of it. You can get more inspiration out of it. The software that runs this is just a very, very simple max patch in tandem with some code on an Arduino. For me, the best way to find people that are interested in what you're doing is to literally get yourself in the same room as people that are pursuing the same information, the same knowledge. People are going to realize that you're interested in it and are active and want to be a part of an artistic community. People that take dadageek classes, the instructors at dadageek, everybody universally just wants to make cool stuff. And so, the sooner you get involved, the sooner things will continue coming to you.
All right. Yeah, so definitely go check out that exhibition. There's a lot of other amazing work up there. We've got some more stuff coming up as well that we're going to be editing together, some more documentation. So there's all sorts of cool stuff. So be sure to go check it out. There's more details up on dadageek.com. And yeah, go experience this stuff. It's amazing.
And if you're not in Austin and you want to experience it, check out our past streams. Kyle and I recently did a stream on site at the Hive. And we talked to some of the artists exhibiting there and definitely covered some of the pieces being exhibited. So
that's right.
Definitely check that out.
Absolutely. Wonderful. All right. So yeah, let's get into some student work. So so the first section of student works that we're going to look at two artists. The first artist is Johnny Walker. He's based out of here in Austin, Texas.
I recently did a stream.
So he took my my class, my projection mapping in real-time video class, which we worked inside of the Resolume environment to create different types of videos and video effects and processes and things like that. And so he's got a couple videos. He's got a couple more later on that we're going to get back to. So he's got a few cool, awesome things that he's made. So we'll split them up. And then as well, we're going to be checking out Alex McLean, who took Matt's robotic art course and created like a really awesome musical and sound design based instrument from robotics. So let's check those out and we'll talk about them on the other side. All right, transitioning. Awesome.
Wow.
Man, I love that. I like the idea of taking the concept of robotics. And I know, most people have an idea of what robotics is. It's like, building a robot that has arms and legs or whatever it might be. But I like the idea of taking that to a different level. It's like building a robot for the purpose of creating a musical instrument or sound design tool for experimental purposes, right? I think there's so much potential in the art world and the music world with robotics, right? Yeah, I don't know. I think that's super fascinating.
Yeah.
Alberto, you took Matt's course, right?
Yeah, I think Matt's a great teacher, and it was interesting to see how everybody else applied the same concepts. And you're right, it's a different approach to what I thought was capable of, and it really unlocks you to view objects differently and how you could turn an object into either an interesting action or an interesting sound or something that generates a cool experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree. And that's what I think Matt's so great about teaching it. It's kind of taking these ideas that you would normally think of technology and expanding it into something different, approaching something different. And I think that's really a valuable concept to put your mind in. So if you're interested in this kind of stuff, Matt is teaching his expressive interfaces classes, which is not so much about working with robotics, but more so about working with creating devices that you interface with. So like sensors and controllers that for controlling sounds and imagery or whatever it might be that you want to control. So yeah, definitely look into that course. It's now available. So going forward, I want to look. Next thing is.
I mentioned Johnny's work, though.
Oh
really
yeah,
quick.
absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me.
Such a well-rounded example of a dadageek student, I think, because he's taken, I think, Ableton music production, and he produced his original music, and now he rounded it off with taking your class and created some really interesting visuals. I almost thought it was two different artists at first because they were so different, and it was interesting seeing how much output a single person was able to get out of a single course.
Yeah, both of those first videos. Yeah, that was both Johnny, and he's got some more coming up later on that we're going to check out. So yeah, you can see how different both of them are, and those were both created inside the same software environment. So they were both programmed inside, or created inside of Resolume, and he created all the music himself as well. He took, I think, Adam's Ableton course, and he's taken a lot of different types of dadageek courses as well.
Yeah, I wanted to also give real quick a few shout outs. We've got Carolyn Appleton watching us on Facebook. We've got Edward S. We've got Bruce McLean joining us too on Facebook. And we've got Ryan, Chicken, and Patrick on YouTube. So just wanted to shout out.
Nice. Chicken's in the house. We've had Chicken on this show before. Absolutely. Yeah, Chicken's one of my favorite Texas area artists. So be sure to check out Chicken. Speaking of awesome local artists, perfect transition, by the way. Next up, we have Crystal Voyager, who is Ellie who took my class and is also one of our this quarter's scholarship recipients. She has a project called Crystal Voyager, local to Austin, Texas. If you are familiar with it, then you already know how amazing it is. If you're not familiar with it, guess what? It's Bandcamp Friday. Jump on your web browser, type in Crystal Voyager Bandcamp, and get yourself an album. Check out the music. So support your local Austin artists. So she took my class for real-time video and projection mapping, and she's wanting to apply it toward her work, toward her performance work. So she started creating videos and doing some projection mapping on real-time objects, or objects in real time during performance. So this is just a sample video of a much longer performance video that she's going to be releasing coming up soon. So this is just a taste. And she collaborated with Paul Baker, who's another really awesome artist, local in Austin, who did some of the analog type visuals inside of there. So they collaborated on some of the video. It's a really good snippet into some really cool stuff. So be sure to check out Ellie Crystal Voyager up on Bandcamp, and let's watch this real quick.
Enjoy.
Awesome. Yeah, her work is pretty amazing. Like I said, make sure go online, check out Crystal Voyager on Bandcamp and get the album. It's Bandcamp Friday, everyone. Make sure to support Bandcamp artists. So yeah, I think it's really cool that she's like created her own prop, projection mapping onto it. By the way, she runs a show called Eclectic Electric, which I'm really looking forward to once all this whole thing is done, and then we can all get back to the real world of going out to shows and stuff. Be sure to check that one out because that is really good. Like she says, it's an eclectic collection of electronic musicians. So be sure to check that one out. All right. So let's keep moving on. Alberto, you know what happened? I was not planning on doing anything for this showcase. I like to often do something, but then I was just like, man, I don't have the time. I don't know if I don't have anything coming up that I'm working on. And when I was just collecting all this stuff from all the students, then like the art bug bit me. I couldn't stand it. So I had to make something. So I kind of drew from different projects that I'm currently working on and just kind of like took little snippets of them, things that I was developing with my class, and then things that I've been working with other people, and just kind of like, let me put it together and just like make a quick little performance. So this morning I just recorded this really quick improvisatory performance, a pulse coder performance. So just with some live visuals and a little bit of Max for Live and a little bit of Ableton put together. So I couldn't help myself. I just had to do it. You don't mind, do you? Okay, good. All right. Then we will check this out and I'll talk about what's going on. Yeah. So yeah, so when the bug bites you, you gotta do something, right? And so I felt it, and I was working with my students on some stuff, and I was just like, you know what, I just gotta do something, you know. So yeah, so what was happening there, by the way, is I was using Ableton Live to create some sounds and stuff like that, but I was also programming in Max for Live to communicate different elements of audio over to Resolume, which was the course that I just recently taught. By the way, this upcoming quarter, I am teaching a Max MSP based course. So if you're interested in learning Max and like how to work with it, it's a great synthesizer tool. It's a wonderful communication tool. You can do visuals with it. It's just amazing multimedia programming environment. And if you're interested in getting into programming, if you're already into audio and things like that, it's a great thing to jump into. So check it out and reach out to me if you have any questions. All right. So let's keep going forward. So guess what we have next? We have the students of the amazing certified Ableton instructor, Adam Fangzerd. So Adam he taught algorithmic composition in Ableton Live, which is really interesting because the idea of algorithmic composition is where you don't sit there and program every single note that was created. Instead, you go in and you use randomness and algorithms and probability in order to create a system that generates the sound. In fact, I used a lot of probability inside of the piece that y'all just heard. Inside of there, it's a great tool for musicians. So I was really excited when he wanted to teach this class, and I'm looking forward to there being more of it. So I don't know, Alberto, can you tell us, since you as well, of course, are an Ableton certified instructor, can you tell us a little bit about the types of tools inside of Ableton that allow for that kind of creative use?
Yeah, well now, people have been working with generative music in Ableton Live for a really long time, using primarily Max for Live, and that's been integrated in Live since Live 9. But now included in the actual software, not without having to use Max for Live, are a lot of built-in probability features. So, on the clip level, for example, you can have assignments of probability for each note. So every note
that was a total game changer for me, by the way. That was huge. Yeah, that was
if you're familiar with working with velocity, it works very similar to velocity controls, but you can decide, this note only occurs 50% of the time, and it's so great. It lets you still engage in that creativity, but it lets you take off in different tangents while not getting bored of the same repetitive thing. So you can really get a lot out of a one-bar clip. We've got a lot of generative possibilities in scene launch controls and clip launch controls. We've got follow actions that are built in to scenes now in Live 11. And we've got really, really redesigned useful approaches to using follow actions in the clips. So now you can link follow actions. You can still use the old school follow action, bars, beats, and sixteenths measurements to like trigger those. And a lot of other stuff, notably a couple of packs. One of them is Inspired by Nature.
Oh, yeah.
By another certified trainer, Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
And that one's using a lot of physics, a lot of just concepts from nature to create musical outcomes, to create really interesting ways to interact with audio and generating audio ideas. It's everybody that I've seen play with that pack specifically comes up with a completely different way to use it. From creating something like very obvious like an arpeggio or a delay from them to completely generative pieces having to do with like pressing a key and it
Absolutely.
creates this whole piece of music.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's so fun as a composer, like using these tools to generate all sorts of interesting new things that you didn't think about, but you created the system that then generates this other thing, right? It's kind of an amazing thing, the unexpected surprises. So with that, all these pieces that we're going to check out. So we've got, let's see, three pieces from Adam's class. We've got longtime Data Geek student Ed Schechnader. He has a piece presented. Patrick Drake and Ryan McIntosh as well are all presenting projects. We're going to go through these and check them out real quick. All of them were created in Ableton Live, and they were used with algorithmic composition techniques. And then once these end, we have a very, very special guest with us is Adam Fengsrud himself, the man himself, is going to present a performance for us. So hope you guys enjoy, and we'll see y'all on the other side.
Machines at the same time, and must be reduced from an engineering point of view to a single structure, which either means a human interpretation of the machine or a mechanical interpretation of the operator of both. Now, we were forced, both for the man firing the gun and for the aviator himself, to replace them in our studies by appropriate machines. The question came, how would we make a machine to simulate a gunpoint? And what troubles would one expect?
There you have it.
Lots of great stuff from Adam.
Mr. Fangsroot himself, right? Always doing something amazing, right? And he originally did that performance. I was for the Ableton users meetup, right?
Yep, Ableton User Group, Boston Ableton User Group.
Which is something that you run. And if you do not already follow, then go ahead and follow that. They're always doing some awesome stuff. So, yeah, go ahead.
Just really quick about Adam's course, I just wanted to let people know what a great opportunity it is to not only learn Ableton. I know there's a lot of Ableton courses, but you'll literally be learning from one of the best teachers out there. Like Adam's not only an Ableton certified trainer, he's always also really experienced in music making. He's really passionate about making music, and he goes really deep. And it's really a great opportunity, because if you're curious about getting into Ableton, you haven't really like purchased the product, you don't have any controllers or anything, it's a great way to get started, because remember, you get that 40% off academic discount on Ableton Live Suite, which is the full version of Ableton Live at a very, very significant discount. Not every school can offer this, by the way. This is just for like actual legitimate academic organizations, and dadageek is definitely one of those.
Absolutely, because we are set up with some pretty amazing Ableton certified instructors, including Alberto Chapa himself and Mr. Adam Fangzerud. So yeah, we love Ableton. Ableton's an amazing software, especially its integration with Max and Max for Live. You can do some amazing things with it. So if you're interested in jumping in, getting into it, be sure to check out Adam's course. You can go to dadageek.com and find our courses, and you can see his introduction to Ableton course right there. And by the way, it is time to mention once again, every once in a while, that we have our beautiful lower third below us that's presented. The dadageek Scholarship Fund is always open and accepting donations. You can donate at Venmo at dadageek or on PayPal, paypal.me/dadageek. And all of that money is going to go toward the dadageek Scholarship Fund, which goes towards giving money to people who want to take dadageek classes. It's giving more opportunity to people who want to learn about immersive art, electronic music, art and technology, so on and so forth, which is what we are really passionate about. That's the idea. We want to spread that knowledge and that love.
Yeah, and we want you to help us spread that passion and that knowledge and that love. And you can really make a difference, because it might not be accessible for everybody, and sometimes it's intimidating to want to take a course and not have enough funds to pay for the tuition. And you could really, really help somebody out that could create an amazing experience for others.
Absolutely. And speaking of scholarships, I should say, as a reminder, scholarship applications are closing tomorrow. So make sure, if you have not yet, and you're interested in doing a scholarship, jump online, go to dadageek.com, and there's a scholarship link up at the top, and check out our scholarship opportunities. We've got $100 scholarships, full ride scholarships, and we have Black, Indigenous, and People of Color scholarships as well. Also, if you are interested, we do have payment plans also. So please reach out to us. Let us know if you're curious in a payment plan, and we can set one up for you. So we have a lot of ways to make sure that that the larger tech art community all around the world has access to what dadageek is offering. So going forward, we've got some more awesome stuff. We're starting to get to the end of our program, but we've still got some pretty amazing stuff coming forward. The next thing I want to show is a couple more students from my class, from my real-time video and projection mapping class. We have Jamal, who is based in Miami, Florida, a really awesome artist who's making some really inspiring and interesting work. He's working on a very large scale project right now that's really fascinating, really interesting, and very important to his local community, an environmental based project. So he came into the class with ideas, and he's moving forward with those ideas. So I think it's really fascinating. He's going to talk and tell us about what those concepts are and what his ideas are going forward with this immersive installation. And as well, we have some more from Johnny Walker himself, a couple more videos that we'll check out as well that were also produced with working with Resolume, that was based from the Resolume class. So I hope that y'all enjoy, and we'll see y'all on the other side.
So I'm Jamal from Miami, Florida. I'm a seeker, a lover of Earth, and a experiential artist. I'm passionate about using technology and art to make a difference. I would say my mission is to create immersive and interactive experiences using innovative technology to awake the spirit toward global environmental consciousness. Right now, I'm pretty excited about releasing my first proof of concept demo install on April 22nd for Earth Day. And let me share a little bit more about my first project, which is titled Listen to Her, which for me went from an idea to more of a reality once I started taking dadageek's Resolume course that was taught by Kyle.
So I'm going to try to keep this very fast because I don't like Google Slides and I'd rather show you the work.
But to give you some context about this project, it's called Listen to Her, an immersive journey that tells a tale about the beauty and tragedy of Biscayne Bay. I'm going to try to go through these slides quickly. So this project is about Miami, Biscayne Bay, the islands in this particular area of Biscayne Bay. Biscayne Bay is huge, so I'm really only focusing on this small area for the proof of concept. And of course, Miami is like all glitz and glamour, but there's a serious environmental problem that's happening here that many don't understand or are not aware of. There was a huge fish kill that happened in August, and it was unprecedented, and it's only a sign of the times to come as pollution grows within Bay. So this project is to really bring awareness to that and hopefully spark some change in people and get people to really understand what's happening and make a change. So the project lives in the intersection of technology, art, and science. And there's some physical elements to this project, like moss, the living entity, which is now being used for art in many ways. But I find it to be like really cool and fascinating. And I'm also going to be collecting plastics from these islands that I usually go to and kayak to, but they act as large trash dumps. And basically what happens is that all the trash that is on the land washes into the bay when there's heavy rains. And then it ends up on these islands, which from a distance seem beautiful and like really cool and interesting. But really, it's just they're kind of like trash dumps in a very sad way. So this is a proof of concept, like digital prototype of what I envisioned the large scale version of the project being. And as you could see, all the walls, all 3 walls are immersed, and I have these large scale moss islands on the wall with plastics around them to represent the trash on the islands. And the storyline is basically goes from the start of the day into the waters and gives people the sense of the beauty around Biscayne Bay, as well as some of the really negative things that are happening. And lastly, this project intersection is, physical elements, media, powerful storytelling, cool visuals with the latest visual tools like Touch Designer and such. I don't want this to be just like a purely abstract project, but I want to incorporate science into it in some way, as well as there's going to be technology with projection mapping and audio element, and all of this is to like really spark the emotion of the viewer so that it creates a memorable, educational, and transformational experience. Hey y'all, so this is a section of Biscayne Bay that references the area of the project that I'm going to be focusing on. And you can see that these are the 9 islands that are in this section of Biscayne Bay. So what I'm trying to do here is bring real moss fabrication to duplicate the look and feel of the islands and give the digital presentation a 3D perspective. So these are samples that I made yesterday to add onto the wall for experimentation. But I think the cool effect here is bringing something physical that gives more depth to this flat surface for this digital presentation. And yes, so this is Biscayne Bay, and I'm also bringing in microplastics that I collected from this island, and I will be doing the same to each of these islands to give the guest a view of the human footprint that we're leaving behind. Ultimately, a lot of this trash is from the city, and it gets washed into the bay when the rain comes. So the artistic goal here is to bring these physical elements into this digital immersive experience. And this is only the proof of concept. But the future version of Listen to Her would be an immersive experience where all the walls will be covered in water and different elements of the bay. So this is only the bay for now, and I'm just using this as a reference. Let me show you the actual presentation. Now, if you noticed, what I did with the moss was I started playing around with the slices in Resolume so that I could have a different effect and element on the actual live moss. And I plan to do that with the rest of the islands. And the rest of the presentation is pretty much this ambient feel of water. And a lot of the visuals that I'm plugging in symbolize a connection back to the water, as well as the storyline that's going to be told in the digital presentation will also have more points around some of the key issues that I'm trying to address, like seagrass loss and water pollution. So this installation really lives at the intersection of physical elements, digital storytelling. I plan to collaborate with other artists that use Touch Designer, After Effects, maybe new other cool interactive tools and softwares to really blend together many different innovative technologies into a immersive experience. And this is a proof of concept, and the launch date is going to be April 22nd here in Miami. And I'm very excited of that, and I have 20 days of some good experimenting ahead of me. So what's the future of this project? Well, I hope that it is a successful proof of concept that gets picked up for funding, so I could do it in a much larger scale and potentially do it to represent all of Biscayne Bay, which is much larger than just this one section. And in that case, I would also be able to play around with interaction and a lot more of the latest technologies to add a human connection to the experience rather than guests just watching it. But my future, I hope to continue to enhance my skills in many of the new tools and techniques that dadageek is educating on. And I will be in Austin by the end of May to continue my journey. And I'm super excited to be part of the data lab and community in general and being able to contribute, and looking forward to it. Thank y'all.
Awesome work, as always. Johnny Walker always bringing some pretty amazing concepts to his work, and I really love what he's doing inside of Resolume. It's just some very beautiful imagery, and like we talked about before, all of his work is done. All of the audio was done in Ableton as well, which is pretty amazing. And Jamal, I mean, he's got an incredible concept there, and I mean, I'm so excited to see that on a full scale and immersive installation. I just can't wait to see that and experience that. I'm super excited for it. Congrats, Jamal. That's a really, really great work. So yeah, this just about concludes everything that we're going to be covering for the winter 2021 dadageek exhibition. So thank you all so much for joining us. We do have a couple more things that we're going to leave you with, but before we go, I do want to just say once again, as a reminder, our dadageek quarter is our next upcoming quarter. The spring quarter is up at dadageek.com. Go check it out. We've got some amazing classes as always. We
could be showcasing your work.
Absolutely.
At the next showcase.
Absolutely.
Feel
right?
Inspired.
Absolutely. So, I mean, there's so many people that are wanting to produce electronic music. This is the way to do it. People that are wanting to get into building in electronics. I mean, like John Mike's class, building synths with Arduino. Matt's class, building expressive interfaces. There's so much there. If you're wanting to get into audio programming, my class, just throwing it out there, of course. And then of course, getting into creative coding concepts, so Sandy's course, or working with building game design in Unity. I mean, there's so much inside of here to check out, and there's a lot coming from dadageek coming forward. By the way, there's a lot of really cool things that we are in the process developing, and we have some really exciting news for y'all coming in the near future. So we're really excited that y'all are here with us on this journey. And we've got some really cool stuff coming forward. So before we head out, first things first, Alberto, thank you once again for joining us. It's so wonderful to have you with us to chat
Always
about all
happy
this
to be
amazing
here.
work. So before we head out, there was a couple of things that I want to show y'all. We have our documentation. Our final documentation from Dumpster Fire. If y'all remember, we did this piece, Dumpster Fire, back in November. This was a Rolling Riot piece. If you check out rollingriot.net, you can learn more about Rolling Riot, which is a dadageek sister organization. Is mostly an organization mostly doing spatial audio events and audio-based events. So we have documentation from that. It is awesome, so stick around and check that out. And then also, I have a video of some select moments from the Bee Cave Buzz Fest, the Central Plaza performance. Alberto, you got to check that out, right? You got to see that performance.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun to do. It was a massive scale performance. So also, once again, that was Dada Lab that organized all of that, which is obviously a very connected organization to dadageek as well. So check out these videos. We'll leave you with these videos. Thank you all so much for joining us and checking out and looking at all of this amazing student work. Once again, we do have the dadageek Scholarship Fund. Please do donate. Make a difference for someone else who really wants to learn this kind of material, who wants to learn and get into this kind of stuff. Alberto, anything you want to add?
No, just thanks. I want to thank everybody for being part of this community and being so welcoming. And if you or anybody you know is interested in developing a new skill or having a career pivot or just finding an outlet for skills that you already have in technology, I would really encourage you to consider our upcoming course.
Absolutely. All right, Alberto. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you, Kyle.
All right, y'all. So we'll leave y'all documentation of Dumpster Fire, followed by documentation of Bee Cave Buzzfest. Hope y'all enjoy.
Enjoy.
There we go. All right. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining us. That is it. Have a wonderful rest of your Friday evening. Check out dadageek.com to find out our upcoming courses. Join our mailing list. Contribute to the Dada Geek Scholarship Fund. Sign up for a scholarship as well. All those amazing things. Reach out to us. Be a part of the Dada Geek community. And we can't wait to see what y'all create. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
We'll see y'all next time.